purpose of this video is to give an explanation of the real distance and the distances we're talking about in regards to the solar system. A lot of people will come up with models of the solar system, and Earth is this size in comparison to the Sun, or this is the distance. But I haven't seen on YouTube as yet a video that really incorporates the true distances. So how do you do that? You do that by measuring up the millions of miles that is included in the solar system to an actual measurement. So what I've done in this explanation is, for every inch that I have here that we're going to be talking about, that 1 inch represents 1 million miles. And if that is the case, then this is a pretty good estimation of what our sun in this model is going to look like. This is just a metal washer, but it's under 1 inch. And in that, the sun is an estimated 800,000 miles in diameter. It is a pretty good estimate in our scale model of the solar system, where 1 inch equals 1 million miles. Now what I've done, I'm going to put this here, and this is going to be our go-to sun model. If that is the case, then, so here's Mercury. I'm going to give you a nice, or see if I can get you a close-up of Mercury. Mercury is really tiny. Mercury is approximately 36 million miles away from the Sun on average. Venus is 67 million miles away from, well, on average, 67 million miles away from the Sun. And it takes 225 of our days for Venus to go around the Sun. Speaking of Earth, we're going to move on. Now, Venus is about the same size as the Earth, just a little bit smaller. But again, I'm going to give you a good idea of how big Earth is in comparison to our Sun. And I'm going to put the Sun back where the Sun belongs. And I'm going to go to 93 inches away. 93 inches away, approximately right here, which represents 93 million miles on average, the orbit of Earth. Everybody knows 365 days it takes for the Earth to go around the Sun. And after that, I'm going to move the camera to where we can look at Mars and Jupiter. Alright, so we moved the camera. We got a sun in the background right over there, and we're going to get a close-up of Mars. And on average, I'm gonna get another Mars, and we're gonna put Mars at 142 inches away from our Sun, right down there. 142 inches is going to be right about here. To give you an idea of what kind of space we're talking about, the time-space magnitude. So here's our Earth, and we got a good idea of where our Sun's at. Our Moon, which orbits around the Earth, is about 250,000 miles away. We went there a couple of times, and it took us 3 days to get there, traveling at 25,000 miles an hour. Or, for example, Mars, in a couple of days we're going to be landing a car on Mars on August 6th, I think it is. It took us 9 months to get to Mars. So, if the Earth is this big, and the Moon is traveling around it, the Moon would be 1/4 inch away from the Earth on this scale. So this is 142 inches from our sun. We're going to move on to Jupiter. On to the largest planet, Jupiter. Here's Jupiter. It's a lot bigger than Earth. It's about 11 times bigger than Earth. It takes 1,400 Earths to fit into Jupiter. Jupiter, on this scale, right about here, 400 inches or 484 million miles from our sun. And wait till you see Saturn. All right, here's Saturn. Saturn is just a little smaller than Jupiter. Saturn is 74 feet away from our sun. Saturn takes about 29 years to go around the sun. All right, here you go. My favorite planet of them all. This is Uranus. Uranus, in this scale, is 149 feet away from our sun. 149, which is 1.49 billion miles away from our sun. Uranus takes 84 years to go around the sun. Uranus is tilted. Uranus has rings that are also tilted. Uranus is hard to see with the naked eye without a telescope. Uranus went undiscovered for a long time. Nobody knew Uranus was out there until 1781. A guy named Herschel used his 6-inch telescope to discover Uranus. And this is how big Uranus is. We're going to move on to Neptune. Neptune is about the size of Uranus. Neptune is about 233 feet away from our sun in this scale. That's 2,330,000,000 miles away from our sun in the solar system. You're really getting a sense of the enormity. I'm going to go to Pluto. In this scale, I'm not even going to try to do Pluto. I need a sugar grain or a salt grain or something like that. It's so tiny. But our scale is pretty accurate. We are 300 feet away from our sun in the center of our model solar system. That would be 3 billion miles away. But Pluto is no longer a planet, but Pluto will always be a planet in my heart. Pluto varies its orbit. Sometimes it bounces inside the orbit of Neptune, You probably see Neptune just a little past that telephone pole down there. We were just over at Neptune. Pluto bounces in and out of the orbit, so at its average distance, it's going to be 3 billion miles away. Now, I wanted to take the scale a little bit further, and I wanted to give an idea of how far our nearest star is on this scale, to give an idea of how close our nearest star is. Well, if in this scale 1 million miles equals 1 inch, then our nearest star, called Proxima Centauri, Proxima meaning close in Latin, would be about the same size as our metal washer, 300 feet away from here, and would be located 384 miles away in North Carolina. Thanks for watching.